Still can't hear? Now we can. How's the audio quality? Is it good? Very low. Okay. Does it need to be louder or no? Good. All right. That's good enough. Happy Monday. Today we're going to cover some good old research. Give me a second to get my little documents pulled up. Any questions prior to class starting? Let me know. Research for property. What do you mean, Dante? Like you have a property that you do want to research? Yeah. Okay, sure. Send it in the chat. I'll use that one as my breakdown. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, we'll let a few more people get inside and then we'll get going. How's everyone's day been so far? Hey, Glendale, Arizona. I like it. I'm actually really happy to research this one for you, Dante. Good. Okay, okay. We got some new people. If you're new here, if this is your first time here, put a number 1 in the chat. So I saw someone in the chat earlier ask, how do I pitch a landlord? And then I said, complete the course. And she was like, I'm on the very first video. Take it a step by step, guys. Just run through those full materials. It makes the most sense. It's going to be the easiest for you. Judy, how are you doing? Judy, you a YN. What's up, Anna? Welcome in. Hey, Dorcas. All right. Cool, cool. Let me get my screens up and loaded. So who in here has research before? Is there a charge using the software? Yeah, I'm gonna cover. Okay, Dante, I'll check that out really quick. Let me see what you got for me. No. So I don't know why the team. Let me clarify something. Give me one sec. Yeah, Dante, it's more for verification purposes. Um, so as long as you open it up, put it. I mean, the more the merrier is going to be better, of course, but it's not a deal breaker. But yeah, the sooner that you can get that opened up, the better it'll be. All right, let's get going. Couple hours. That's what's up, Nikki. Paola, I'll check on that. Okay. It's open, just not with the deposit. Okay, cool, cool. So for everyone who said that they have researched before, let's talk about, why we do research. So all of you guys have education, right? Some of you guys are completing the courses at different speeds, 100% depending on you guys. But what I want to emphasize is you need real data to make smart investment decisions. Who in here agrees? Right? Like you can't invest into a property without having the data that supports an investment. You just cannot do it. If you do it, you just put yourself at a bigger risk than that's needed. So I do not recommend. Now, with that being said, with that being said, that's why we have Staley, our research tool, and it literally is what we use to research all of our properties. You can quite literally research a property in less than 2 minutes. Now, today we did change our pricing around a little bit for limited access, and we are introducing $20 per month, cancel anytime. Once again, not fully unlimited, but you know, it has a good amount of searches, and you can do an annual plan at 180 per year. And this is what you will need to follow along in class today. So if you did want to join on the $20 per month plan to follow along today, I'm going to put that link in the chat for you guys. You can click it, get signed up. If you're in one of our programs, you do not need this. You are already good. Okay. I'll give you guys a few minutes. I'll give you guys a few minutes to get that going. In the meantime, we do have a property that Dante wants to search, so we're just going to run through the actual presentation. We're going to run through the actual presentation with Dante on that specific property. Only 78 people so far today. Nikki, yeah, you're good. 78 people so far. Ideally, we get to 100, but if not, it is all good. Cool. So, who in here is at the point in the who's in here in the stage of researching, right? Like you've already been looking at properties, you've completed the materials, you research already, you're trying to find that one property. Date said me. Fahima said me. Anybody else? Layla said me. This alive, a series. It's not necessarily a series. We just do different lessons every day. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through, my full presentation. And then after we are going to apply, we're going to do like a real life walkthrough of it. If that sounds good, number one, I will answer questions at the very end. If you guys don't mind. My clicker pulled up. All right, cool. Okay. So, researching for your Airbnb, this is going to be a comprehensive guide. Successful short-term rental ventures don't happen by chance. They are built on a foundation of thorough research and informed decision-making. Whether you're a first-time Airbnb host or you're an experienced property manager, understanding the dynamics of your chosen market is critical. This presentation will guide you through the essential steps of researching and selecting profitable Airbnb properties. Now, I do want you guys to take notes, right? Because when I do I try to break what I do down into like a presentation format, but when I'm actually researching properties, I'm kind of just doing it off muscle memory. You know what I mean? So if you guys take notes, it all makes sense. Now, the importance of research. Thorough research is the foundation of any successful Airbnb investment. It helps you make data-driven decisions and minimize risk while maximizing potential returns. Number one, identify best locations. Analyze neighborhood trends, proximity to attractions, and seasonal demand patterns to find your properties in prime locations that attract consistent bookings throughout the year. Number two, uncover demand trends. Study booking patterns, peak seasons, and guest preferences to understand when and why travelers choose specific areas, helping you optimize your pricing and marketing strategy. Number three, evaluate competition. Review existing listings in your target area to identify gaps in the market, understand competitive pricing, and determine ways to differentiate your property from others. Number four, align with your financial goals, calculate potential returns, operating costs, and investment requirements to ensure the property meets your financial objectives and provides sustainable long-term profitability. And number five, maximize profitability. Like we're all here to make money. So doing all these things listed on this page is how you maximize that. Now, when you combine market insights with strategic planning, to optimize your pricing strategy, amenities offerings, and operational efficiency for maximizing returns on investment. This is how you make money. So all these things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, equals up to you making the most amount of money as possible. Shania, I will go on price labs. Now that was like a brief little overview. Does that make sense? If so, number one's in the chat. Cool. Now there are two components of Airbnb research. Number one is going to be practical analysis, right? This involves examining specific property details, local regulations, and financial projections to make informed decisions. So that's practical. Then you have strategic. Strategic requires looking at broader market trends, future demand, and long-term profitability to ensure sustainable success. Now, starting your research journey, number one is going to be understand local regulations, right? Confirm that short-term rentals are allowed and identify licensing requirements. Number two is going to be find suitable properties. So search for properties that meet your criteria and align with your goals. And then number three, use profitability calculators to evaluate the financial visibility of potential properties. After that, you are going to broaden your market view, right? So you're going to analyze competitive listings, aka study successful properties in your target area to understand what works. Next, you are going to identify popular amenities, which means determine which features and amenities are most sought after by guests. And then number three, study occupancy trends, aka examine seasonal patterns and overall demand in chosen market. Yeah, I can. Killer, you mean like my voice tempo or the slides? The slides? I got you. You want me to go back, Killer? I'll go back for you. Here you go. So this is just the three-step process that we always do. You know, first you get your local regulations. Second, you find your property. And number three, you start researching. Any questions up until this point? I realize that I probably shouldn't wait till the end to answer questions, so we'll do it. If you guys have a question at any point, just put it in the chat. I'll answer it. But any questions so far? How do we purchase regulations and how much are they? We don't charge for regulations. I'll show you how I look up regulations. Keela, we good? Let me know. Let's see. Yep. Okay, cool. So, number one, I'm gonna just do this again. Analyze competitive listings. Number two, identify popular amenities. And number three, study occupancy trends. Now, advanced tools and strategies. Number one is market dashboards. Utilize comprehensive data visualization tools to gain insights into market performance. I'll show you guys this later. Some of you guys already know what this is. Number two is going to be profitability calculators. So you're going to use specialized calculators to project potential earnings and expenses for properties. And then number three, you're going to use a software that tracks and predicts market trends to stay ahead of the curve. So, most of you guys already know this. For a lot of you guys, it's not new information, right? You use your advanced tools, your AI tools, and your calculator tools. Very simple stuff. Now, benefits of thorough research. Number one is going to be a sustainable business, right? Because you're not going to be just doing it off of a whim, or you're not going to be doing it because you think it's going to work. All of your investments are going to be backed by data. Number two is going to be a competitive edge. You are going to know, why you're taking a property, what the market is forecasted to do, what the market has done, what the top properties do. Number three is going to be informed decisions. Number four is going to be risk mitigation. And number five is going to be profit maximization. So by investing time in comprehensive research, you lay the groundwork for a successful and sustainable short-term rental business. This right here needs to be screenshotted, wrote down, cannot be denied, and cannot be ignored, right? If you don't understand these five things, right, you won't research properly. Now, we did a training about a couple of days ago on pitching, and you guys remember that? Let me know if you remember that. Fatima's typing yes. Okay. In the pitching training, I said that if you don't understand what you bring to the table, you just will not pitch the right way. It's going to be the same thing with researching. If you don't understand what you're researching and why you're researching, you're never going to be able to research the correct way. So understand, you're doing it for these 5 things. Number 1, sustainable business. Number 2, a competitive edge. Number 3, informed decisions. Number 4, risk mitigation. And then number 5, profit maximization. All good there? If so, number 1's in the chat. Cool. Now, the full research process. This is step 1. Determine location suitability. The first step in your short-term rental research process is to determine if the location you're interested in allows short-term rentals. A simple Google search or checking the local regulations will help you find this information. Look for any specific rules, licenses, or permits required to operate in that area. Now, like I said, I'm just going to run through all these slides, and then I'm going to do it actually for Dante's property. But when you guys screenshot this or write this down, put a number 1 and put a number. Let's do a 1 emoji. Let's put a thumbs up emoji, right? When I get a few thumbs up, I'm going to move on. But until you guys give me that thumbs up, we're going to stay here. Can anyone in the chat tell me why this is so important? Like before you even start looking at properties, why you need to look at the regulations. Like sometimes I see people get really, really obsessed about a property and they haven't even done regulation research yet. You know, like you're just hyping yourself up. All right, cool. You need to know what's right and wrong. Exactly. So, evaluating location demand. It's important to consider demand and proximity to attractions. Ask yourself why people visit the area and how close the property is to key attractions. High travel demand often translates to more bookings. Look for areas with popular tourist attractions, business centers, or event venues. So, Dante, what's in I'll ask you this. I'll ask you this later, but be prepared to answer these questions. What's in Glendale, Arizona, from in your perspective? Now, finding the right property. Number 1 is going to be confirm the city suitability, aka do your research. Number 2 is going to be search for modern properties. Number 3 is going to be look for updated features. Number 4 is going to be assess the profitability potential. And then number 5 is going to be consider guest appeal. This is like all these are kind of frameworks. Like once you understand what you're doing here, this process becomes super like a systemized process and you're able to do it over and over and over again. Same thing, thumbs up once you guys got this down in your notes. Pamela said thumbs up. Nikki said thumbs up. Dante said thumbs up. Okay. Now, property search platforms. There are 3 big ones that I recommend. Number 1 is going to be Zillow, which is a popular real estate marketplace with a wide range of listings, Zillow.com. Hotpads.com, which is owned by Zillow.com, offers a filter for listings by private owners, which can be helpful in your search. The number 3 is going to be Apartments.com. These are just like so many apartments on there. Now, the reason why I recommend Zillow or in Hotpads is because Hotpads, like it says, has a filter for listings by private owners. So if you want to bypass all properties that aren't listed by the owner, they're listed by an agent, listed by a corporation, you can just select this filter and it will literally show you only properties listed by private owners. This is a cheat code. All right, so those are the big 3. Out of these big 3, I use these 2. Thumbs up when we're good. Cool. Now, Big Ro, what's up, brother? Oh, we didn't even talk about how what's her name? Normonda? She's not on here. Roman helped one of our students get 44K from one bank today. Pretty solid. Pretty solid shit. Everyone put a congrats to Roman on his excellent work. Cool. So using the Staley platform. This is our main platform that we use. 45K same day turnaround. Exactly. Now, the main platform that we use is going to be Staley, right? How do you use it? Number 1, enter your property details, input the address, number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and guest capacity. Number 2, input the expected expenses, including rent, furniture costs, and utilities to calculate potential profits. Number 3 is going to be review your project your profit projections. Analyze the calculated results to determine if the property meets your financial goals. Using the calculator is the simplest part. You do not need to do rocket science, right? It is as simple as this. Number one, enter the property details. Number two, input the expected expenses. And then number three, review profit projections. Does that make sense, everyone? Yes. Cool. Now, budgeting for furniture. This is a big one. So, a little while ago, we used to budget $8,000 per room, right? Anaya, what you doing right now? What's the? I want to ask Anaya what's recommended budget for rooms. It used to be $1,000 per room. What is it now? Yeah. You want to come talk to people right quick? I'm sure they love to see you. They won't be able to see that. Just come talk to them. It's 110 people. They want to see you. No, they want to see you. They said Anaya, please. She said yes. We love her. You got to, bro. They said come through, please. Come on, Naya. All right, she playing around, y'all. So they're literally begging for you to come in, dog. So budgeting for furniture. A while ago, we used to do $1,000 per room. I would say expect this at the bare minimum. Literally, my queen. Yeah, maybe someone can go comment on our Instagram post, tell her to come talk to you. I don't know, but we used to do $1,000 per room, and what we saw is, as the competition went up in areas, we just started to allocate a little bit more, right? So I would say at minimum, expect $1,000 per room. At most, one sec. At most, what would you allocate to a room, at most, what would you allocate to a room? 3K per room. So Anaya said at least a minimum of 1,000 and at most 3,000. So let's just operate at bare minimum numbers. It is recommended to budget $1,000 per room for furnishing your Airbnb property. Once again, at minimum. Now, a 4-bedroom example, right? A 4-bedroom property with 2 bathrooms and a living space would have a furniture budget of $7,000 at minimum. Now, I know what you're thinking. Like, how's that even? If it's only 4 bedrooms, how does that count? If you think about it, 2 bathrooms in a living space, that is $1,000 each room. Now, obviously, a bathroom won't need $1,000, but the budget that you would allocate for a bathroom just flows throughout the house. Does that make sense, guys? And yes, okay, and quite literally, like you said, at most $1,000. I would say, um, we design heavily on the market, right? Like we're always trying to future proof our properties. We're never trying to have to come back in 2 to 3 years and redo a whole design. Like we're trying to beat the market so far that when the next update comes, we're already there. You know what I mean? Can you break it down a little? Yeah, break what down exactly, Aaron? What do you mean $1,000 flows? Okay, so a bathroom won't take $1,000, but you're going to allocate $1,000 to the bathroom. Does that make sense? So if you have $1,000 budget for your bathroom and you only use 200, now you just put $800 somewhere else. Sorry, I'm trying to break it down all the way. Oh, yeah. So you're just allocating the budget. Kitchen, exactly. Okay, cool. Now this is at minimum. Like I said, what we've seen in different markets is, hey, it's a little bit more competitive. We're not trying to be good for the next 1 to 2 years. We want to be good as many years as possible. So we just really we take on that upfront cost of furnishing, and it works really well. Now, after do these, you use the Stately platform. You're now going to evaluate your profitability. Number one, trust the numbers. Everyone put trust the numbers in the chat. Review the numbers carefully. If the property's projected profit doesn't meet your financial goals, move on and continue searching. Number two, avoid bias. Trust the numbers and avoid convincing yourself otherwise. Objective analysis is key to making sound investment decisions. I don't care how good a property looks, guys. If those numbers don't add up, don't do it. Right? I don't care if the landlord's a great person. If the numbers don't add up, don't do it. Nothing matters except the numbers. Now, after you do your property research, the next step is going to be analyzing the competition. You guys are familiar with this process. Number one, check active listings. If the property looks profitable, the next step is to evaluate the competition in the area. Check active Airbnb listings near the property. Vanessa, yeah, later. I'm just doing a presentation right now, and then after, I'm going to do an actual property for Dante. Right. So number one, analyze the competition. Check the active listings. Number two, compare their offerings. So compare their pricing, amenities, and overall presentation. Look for patterns among the other successful listings. And then number three, match or exceed, right? Ensure your property matches or exceeds their offerings. For example, if properties with pools or outdoor seating perform well in the area, consider ensuring your listing has these features too. Number three is important. Match or exceed. Do not come below the market. Like, everyone put that in the chat. That exact match or exceed. I don't know how to tell you. Do not underscore the market. If you underscore the market, you just put yourself at a higher risk. Now, Savannah Stewart, are you in here? Let's see if Savannah Stewart's in here. So she's taking her property, and one thing she noticed is it's like close to the beach, right? And she said that the one thing that she would be curious about is like, hey, this apartment doesn't have a pool. Everyone else has pools. Now, my thought process behind it was like, hey, in this scenario, it may not matter that much because the beach is like a couple blocks away. But the one thing that I commend her on noticing is that the other properties have pools, right? Like, it's not a good or a bad thing. All this information is just nice to know, right? Like, imagine if she just invested and didn't even realize that until after the fact. You guys could see how like one is better than the other, like at least knowing what you're up against. Now, like I said, since they're all by the beach, if I were booking it, I wouldn't care to have necessarily a pool, because it's by a beach, which I'm going to walk to the beach, go on the beach, the ocean, or whatever you call it. But you guys see what I mean? Yes. All right. Cool. Now, we're going to do this today, right? This class is going to be a little bit longer. Like, we probably still have an hour left of this class. Is that all right with you guys? Am I going too slow, or are we good pace? Because I'm going to do everything that you guys see on the screen today, all for Dante's property. Cool. Now, the second method that we do is we use Price Labs market dashboards. Here's how you do it. Number one, enter the property address. Input the address of your potential property into the Price Labs market dashboard. Number two, set search radius. Define a radius to find comparable properties in the area. And then number three, review data on average revenue, amenities, and pricing of similar listings in the area. This is like kind of the 3-step framework that we use when we use Price Labs. Now, identifying trends. Number one, you're going to download your data or upload your data or analyze the data. You're going to look for patterns, right? What months are the highest occupancy months? When are the months where you're making the most amount of money? What's the high season? What's the down season? Right? Then you're going to analyze successful listings. What do these top properties have? What do I absolutely have to have in my property? Remember we did Nashville and we just saw that like all the top properties had like a guitar somewhere in their property. Now, so at first I was like, hey, it's a coincidence. And I looked back and it was like, hey, the top 6 properties have guitars. Guess what I'm going to do? They just like guitars. I don't know if they like it consciously or subconsciously, but they like it. So, I'm just identifying what the top properties have. Number 3 is going to be identifying common features, whether that be a pool, outdoor dining, pool table, putt, whatever the case may be. If it's common amongst the top properties, yours better have it too. And then adapt your strategy. By researching thoroughly and comparing your property to others in the area, you can make informed decisions and set yourself up for success. But we're all on the same page. What's our strategy? Like, I give you guys a strategy, but what do you think that strategy is? Anyone in the chat? Let me know. What's the strategy, guys? Have a well-prepared plan before you take action. This is the strategy. Number 3, match or exceed. That's it. That is it. That is what it comes down to. All right. Everything that we do, we're just trying to match or exceed. That is the best input to get your output. Cool. Now, moving forward with confidence. Once you've identified a property that meets your criteria, you're ready to move forward with confidence. So, number one, you've done your thorough research. Number two, you're making data driven decisions. Number three, you've done your competitive analysis, which completes your strategic planning. Now, how to pick a property in 6 steps. Step number one, find a property on Zillow.com. Step number two, use a daily calculator. Step number three, input the property details. Step number four, enter expected expenses. Step number five, review project profit projections. And then step number six, analyze competition. So, looks like we're going to be getting started here soon, Dante, because this example is based all in Glendale, Arizona. So, step number one, find a property on Zillow, right? Start by heading to Zillow.com to begin your property search. Step number two, type in a zip code for the area you're interested in. For this example, we'll use Glendale, Arizona. Step number three, look through the available properties until you find one that catches your interest. And step number four, when you find the property you like, copy the address for the next step. When you guys got this down in your notes, screenshotted it or whatever, put me a thumbs up in the chat. Dante said thumbs up. Hussein. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to do a real life example, but just so you guys have the knowledge base that you can refer to when you're doing it on your own, you're going to know exactly what you're doing. Cool. So, step two, use a Staley calculator. Go to staley.com, select add new property. Number three, paste the property address. Number four, fill in the property details. So, your accommodation count, number of bedrooms and bathrooms. And then number five, input the monthly rent. This is all you have to fill out to get a projection. Now, what you are going to be looking at is going to be your annual revenue, right? Your projected yearly income from the property, your suggested nightly rates for optimal earnings, your average occupancy, and then number four, your average length of stay. Now, when you're doing this, you have to enter in your expected expenses. This is good. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. Who else agrees with Roman? So enter in expected expenses. Number one is going to be your annual rent. Calculate the monthly rent amount. You don't really have to calculate it, but it's on Zillow. Number two is going to be include security deposit and application fees. Number three, your furniture costs will allocate $1,000 per room at minimum. Keyword at minimum. Number four is going to be your operating expenses, so monthly utilities and maintenance costs. And then number five, your management tools, costs for hospitable or price labs. We do all of this so that way we get a real accurate projection, because a lot of people get focused on revenue. Like, can anyone tell someone just put their definition of revenue in the chat really quick? Let me make a point. What's revenue, guys? Money you earn. Now, if someone is making, let's say, 100K per year on a property, would you consider them to be doing good? If someone's making $100,000 per year on a property from Airbnb, would you consider them to be doing good? Depends on expenses. Exactly. Exactly. No, not after expenses, pure revenue. So this is why you enter in your expected expenses. So that way, when you see a property that you're researching, say 100K total revenue per year, you have to enter in your expenses to see what that all boils down to. What that all boils down to. So don't get blinded when you see when you put a property in the calculator and it's like, oh, you can make 130K per year from this. That looks good, but what's the profit? We're here for the profit. Let me get my money out. Give me a second. Pull out the cash, right? We care about this. This is all it's about, right? So if a property says, "Oh, you can make 130K," this is revenue. That literally does not matter because after you get, oh, it's fake money. Don't, it's not real money. It's fake. I just use it because I like money. Um, so here you go, 130K revenue. Then you got your rent. Take out this. You got your furniture. Take out this. You got your monthly utilities. Take out this. Yeah, that big stack goes all the way down to this. Now, this is good because you expected this. What isn't going to be good is if you go into a property thinking that the revenue is what you keep all of this. That's not the way this works. If we're all in agreement, number one's in the chat. One, cool. All right, let's keep moving. So, understanding cleaning fees is going to be a big one. So, in the calculator, you're going to see one input that says guest charges. The calculator will help you project cleaning fees, showing the amount you charge guests, right? It will also display the amount you pay cleaners, giving you a clear picture of potential upkeep costs. Now, we already went over this for furniture budget example. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 living space, total of $7,000 budget if you're budgeting $1,000 per room. Now, typical monthly operating expenses, this one right here is a little bit iffy, right? Because you realistically cannot estimate what the usage is going to be on a property. So you kind of just like do more than you're expecting it to be. So that way you don't, you give yourself like a rougher projection. Like it's better to have a rougher projection than to like underdo it. You guys agree? Give yourself some leeway, right? So like, for example, I would put in $250 per month for electricity, $100 per month for internet, $50 per month for water and sewage, $50 per month for garbage, $50 per month for gas, additional maintenance, $50 a month, supplies, $50 a month, landscaping, $100 a month, management tools, $100 per month, cleaning fees based on bookings. Understanding the cleaning fee profit. Now, the guest charge is what you charge your guest. So if you charge your guest $250 per stay for cleaning, but you pay your cleaners $200, you profit $50 per cleaning, but not really, because I mean you do profit it, but it's just going to go back into like supplies and stuff, right? Ideally, you do, but now we've realized that like we rather just pay our cleaners the most that we can, so that way they do the best that they can, right? They're incentivized to do really good based on compensation. But for some of you guys, this will be the case for you. Remember that Airbnb takes a 3.5% service fee from your bookings automatically. Now, review profit projections. This is going to be the most important thing. For example, the annual profit might be $14,000, right? Let's do some math here. Sorry, guys. Now, annual profit might be $14,000. However, your 5-year projection may be $110,000, and your 10-year projection may be 229,000. Sorry, I'm like brain. You get it, right? 229. Wait, why can I not say this? Someone help me out. $110,000, right? Right? Is that the right way to say it? $229,000. Okay. So can anyone in the chat let me know why your annual profit may only be this, but your 5-year profit may be this? Anyone know? Your reviews, less bookings, value increases, interest rate taxes. No, it's because Ayana, there you go. First year initial cost and Ariana furniture and startup costs, right? Because that first year that you're going to see on the the first year you're going to see on the calculator is going to be including everything that you put into it. So your security deposit, your furniture, your contractor costs, all of that gets taken out of your first year profit. But then in the second year, assuming you make the same amount, now you've made that in full and it's going back in your pocket. Cool. You guys pay attention. I like this. And then number 6, you are going to analyze the competition. So number 1, utilize the Staley tool to analyze the competition in your chosen area. Number 2, look at similar Airbnb listings in your potential property. Number 3, examine the photos of competitive listings to understand their presentation. And then number 5, read through your guest reviews to identify what visitors appreciate or criticize. Now, competitive analysis factor. You're going to look at their nightly rates. So how much are they making? You're going to look at their amenities, right? Which features are common or unique among successful listings? And number 3, look at their ratings. Now, final answer your research. Following these 6 steps ensures a well-researched and potentially profitable Airbnb investment. Number 1, compile your data. Number 2, identify trends. Number 3, assess competitiveness. Number 4, plan improvements. And number 5, make informed decisions. Now, there are always 2 ways to research. Number 1 is going to be basic research. Number 2 is going to be advanced research. Does anyone, before I go to that slide, know what these 2 methods are? You guys should have a lot of notes too. I hope you guys have good notes because when I run through this property for Dante, I'm going to be doing everything I'm doing here, but I'm not going to walk you guys necessarily through it. I'm just going to do my thing. But who knows the difference between basic research and advanced research? Defined by the course materials in the book. Data. Any more takers? Let me know. If you get the answer right, I'll give you a fake $100 bill. There you go. Okay, so I'll just tell you guys, basic research is focusing on the property in itself, right? This is when you find a property on Zillow, you put the address in, you do the whole Staley shindig. Advanced is when you look at the overall market. So you look at the bigger picture. Does that make sense, guys? So you never research it out doing both ways, right? You never just take the calculator for face value, right? Even if a property on the calculator is projected to make 100K profit per year, you want to understand why. You want to go the more advanced route. So let's get into it. Basic research approach. This approach focuses on, wait, one sec. This approach focuses on the specific property and its expenses to revenue ratio. The financial analysis of this approach examines the potential profitability of a single property based on its characteristics and its local market conditions. So really focused on the actual property in itself. Now, when it comes to advanced research, this approach takes a broader perspective, examining the overall market, competitors, trends, and other macro level factors. It provides a more in-depth understanding of the market dynamics and potential long-term performance. So, what do you guys think it's important to know? No, do you guys think it's important to win and know why you're winning, or just to win? Right? Like you would say that both they're both equally important. If you don't know why you're winning, then you stop winning, you can't get back there. So that's why we look at the market. We don't look at a property, we look at both of them together. Now, getting started at basic research, we already did this above. The same shindig. Number 1, find your property on Zillow. Number 2, use the calculator. Number 3, input your expenses. Number 4, review the profitability. Now, proceeding to advanced research. When to proceed? If the projection indicates profitability, it's time to proceed to advanced research. Advanced research involves validating the numbers derived from comparable properties to ensure their accuracy. Now, why do we do advanced research? We do this because of limitations of the basic calculator, right? Number 1, this is the way that software works. Our calculator may not always select the best comparable properties. The calculator typically considers property size and location, but may not account for other critical factors. Some overlooked factors are going to be amenities, design, or the condition of the property might not be fully considered. Does this make sense? I see 126 people in here, but I only got 5 yeses. Does this make sense, guys? Right? I never solely rely off the calculator. I can't. I mean, think about a calculator in school. It's you put in some numbers and it gives you that, but it doesn't tell you how or why it got that. It just spits it out. When you're researching for Airbnb or just real estate in general, you want to know why. You want to get the full picture. Cool. So, example of calculator limitations. Your property may be an older property with no pool, but your comparable property may be a newer property and it has a pool. If this calculator suggests both properties will generate the same revenue, there is likely an issue and you should understand why this is. Right. So I always just look into it deeper. I never just be like, oh, I found the property is going to make profit. No, I want to see exactly what we're up against. Now, there are two comparable sets. Set number one is going to be general. This set includes all comparable properties in the area, regardless of specific features. Number two is going to be specific. This set is more targeted. For example, if the property you are evaluating is a 3-bed, 2-bathroom home with a pool and hot tub, comp set number two will only include other properties with similar features. For example, 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a pool and a hot tub. Right? We only compare apples to apples, not apples to oranges. Because if I have a 3-bed, 2-bathroom home with a pool and hot tub, it does not make sense for me to be comparing myself to like a 2-bed, 2-bath home or 2-bed, 2-bath apartment. You know what I mean? So you have to just specify what you're looking at, and you want to see what properties that are similar to yours are making, how they're performing. That's the only thing that matters at the face layer. Cool. Now, key metrics for comparable sets. Proximity. How far are the comparable properties from each other? We'll show you guys this on the map. Profitability clusters. Are there areas where properties are the most profitable, and are these properties clustered in specific regions? You guys see me do this before. I'll just kind of see like, oh, where all the properties are. Like you'll see like there's like 5 properties that are each making 100K on this side of the map, and then over here they're making like 60K. Obviously, I want to be close to the 100K, and you can see that's a real thing. And then number three is going to be property features. So, what common amenities or characteristics do the most profitable properties share? Now, market data analysis. Use the AI tool. I'll show you guys this too. Use our AI tool to analyze market data efficiently, providing insights in less than 5 minutes. Number two, examine charts to understand the markets are most and least occupied. And then number three, determine which months are likely to generate the highest revenue and which months may require discounted pricing. Very important. No slide was put in this presentation for fun. Everything I've said so far is just what I do. You guys got that down? Screenshot it, written down in your notes? Let me know. Yes. Cool. Now, identifying top properties. Examine the top properties to understand what makes them successful. So, analyze top listings, identify standout features, understand guest preferences, note common amenities, and study pricing strategies. Key questions for top listings. What features make these listings stand out? What features make these listings stand out? Why do guests prefer these properties? How do these properties price themselves compared to the market? What marketing techniques are these properties using effectively? Now, incorporating success factors. Number one, after identifying the elements that contribute to the success of top listings, aim to incorporate as many of these features as possible into your own listing. Tailor your property and offerings to match or exceed the local market standards. And four, regularly review and update your property based on market trends and guest feedback. So if you're wondering why our design budget um, just increased from 1K to 3K, is because we don't want to have to do this. We don't want to have to review and update. We just want to get ahead of the curve. Does that make sense? Right now, when they see us outperforming their properties, they're going to have to update according to our property, not the other way around. So we just take the cost on up front. Now, by combining both basic and advanced research methods, you can ensure a comprehensive and accurate evaluation of potential Airbnb properties. So once again, basic research, this is property specific. Advanced research, this is market wide. Now, establishing detailed comparable sets. Number one, establish clear criteria for comparable properties. Number two, collect information on properties meeting your criteria. Number three, identify common features and performance metrics. Number four, use insights to inform your property strategy. Now, this is important. Identify peak and off-peak seasons for your market. This is just something to know. Like I know in St. Louis and the cold months, I'm not going to make as much, but I look forward to the warm months. I'm going to make a shit ton. Number two, develop dynamic pricing based on market demand. Price Labs automatically does this. And then number three, understand booking patterns to optimize availability. So I know that my weekends get booked out first. So my weekends are always priced higher. I know my weekdays struggle a little bit. So they're always just a little bit discounted. Not discounted to the fact that I lose money, but discounted to the fact that I make less profit, but the day's booked out. Which one would you guys rather, an empty day or some profit? Some profit. There you go. Now, implementing research insights. Number one, summarize the most important insights from your research. Number two, create a strategy to implement improvements based on research. Number three, establish clear objectives for your property's performance. And then number four, review and adjust your strategy based on results. Now, next we have quantitative and qualitative research. Quantitative is financial projections, occupancy rate, and pricing trends. Qualitative is going to be your guest preference, your property aesthetics, and local attractions. This is just another level of looking beyond the calculator, right? Because the calculator just cannot take into account this side of things. Does that make sense? This is you. You have to have an eye for this stuff. You have to know exactly what you're looking for. The softwares will do all of this part, right? They'll give you all of this because this is just number. But this right here, right? A calculator cannot tell you, "Yo, that bed does not look good. You can do better." You got to identify that, or that TV's too small, right? So a well-rounded approach considers both hard data and subjective factors for a complete understanding. Conclusion, the power of thorough research. Number one, informed decisions. Make confident choices based on comprehensive data. Number two, competitive edge. Stay ahead in the market with data-driven strategies. Number three, risk mitigation. Identify and address potential challenges proactively. And number four, optimize performance. Continuously improve your property's performance. By investing time in thorough research and leveraging both basic and advanced methods, you will lay the groundwork for a sustainable and successful short-term rental business. Ta-da! Huh? My key, yeah. Any questions, guys? You want to say hi to the people? She got a facial today, y'all. She don't want to. She doesn't want to say hi. She wants to say hi, but she said she put on the esthetician put on like a some on her face when she got her facial. But does that all make sense? Can you get that light for me, bro? Does that all make sense, guys? Let me know before I proceed with the actual property. I hope that was beneficial. Okay. I try to be as thorough as possible with you guys without confusing you. Any questions on that before I get into the actual property? Because once I'm in the property, I ain't coming back out the property. So I ask your questions now based on what I just talked about. I'll give you like 30 seconds. Shania, I see you're typing. I got this before regulations. So that's we use that internally. It's not necessarily for you. Okay. So what we have, why not do basics and get a landlord, yes or no, then more research? You can. It's all personal preference. Do you pay more to the landlord because it's B&B? No. We normally just pay market rent. Yeah, Chris, you can. It's just when in my case, since I have like a larger team, I always look at like a full in-depth report whenever whenever it's like, hey, this could possibly work. Here's why. Now you at a micro level where you're picking up, one property that would work, but when you're picking up multiple, um, I just like to consider everything. Right? Like I won't even reach out to a landlord if I'm not confident in the property. What happens when you live? What happens when you live in a four-season city? The seasons where they are not so much traffic, how do you keep the money flowing? Tiffany, what would be an example? What do you mean market rent? Is that with the 3.5 Airbnb takes? I don't know what you mean, Shania or Shania or Shania. Even with no funding yet, would it be good to do this kind of research in advance to have in our back pocket, or is it a waste if different factors change over time? That's a really good question. So I recommend you do it just for fun's sake. I mean, it's a skill, right? Like even if you don't have the funding yet, when you do have your funding, it's going to be 10 times easier for you to identify a property and research a property because you've been doing it in your spare time. Like you're not waiting to do it. Like start practicing. Start identifying what makes properties good and bad. Shania, okay. Does that make sense, Tara? So yeah, you should 100% be doing this because everyone in the chat, put some of your desires in the chat. Like who in here, you have your family, you want to take your family to Disneyland, or you want to take them on like ski trips, and you want to, like, what are some things that you guys want to do? Just let me know in the chat. Travel, live anywhere I want to live, freedom. I want to take my daughter on a cruise. Want to visit Iceland, take my children to travel the world. Hajj, travel by home, retire ice skating, be financially free. No more 9 to 5. Okay. Now, would you believe me if I told you guys that you're just one property away, right? You're always just one property away from those things. Like it's not even belief, it's just a fact. You're always just one property away from the next level. So if you're always just one property away, what should you be doing? Trying to get that one property. And then after you get the one property, you're still one property away. You get the next property, but it's one at a time. Everybody put one in the chat, right? So in the meantime, if you don't have your funding, right, start researching, start pitching, start reaching out. Just build the skill. I love that, one property away. That's our slogan. We're just one property away, right? Someone asks you what you're doing. I'm just looking for my next one property. That's it. That's my goal. One property. Even for me, with all the properties that I have, I'm still just one property away. Just take it one at a time. It quantifies it to just one. Boom, 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 boom. And you just start knocking them down. Some places only allow 90 to 120 days, or maybe have you ran into this? No, that is those are those Airbnb approved listings that Airbnb tried to do. They're terrible. Cool. Now Dante actually sent me a property that we are going to research and run this through. I got you, Vanessa. I got you. So here is the property. 5-bed, 3-bath. Right, 5-bed, 3-bath, 2945. Now, before I even look at this, what is going to be my first step, guys? Before I get into my property, assuming I know nothing about this market, what's my first step? Regulations. There we go. Regulations, guys. I know nothing about this market. What do I do? Does Glendale, Arizona allow Airbnb? So I type in on Google, right? Yes, Airbnb is allowed in Glendale, Arizona, but there are regulations that property owners must follow, right? Regulations, registration, safety standards, tax obligations, emergency contact, complaint contact. I'm just going to go directly to the government website, right? Regulations number 1. Everyone put regulations. It does not make sense for you to research a property if you do not know regulations. Genuinely, you're just wasting your time. Because it's a check system, right? Like if the regulations check out, then you move to the next step. If the next step, which is the property, checks out, then you move on to the next step. Look into the market. If the market checks out, you reach into the next step. Right? What's the next step after that? Pitching, but we'll get into that. Cool. Let's go to our city of Glendale. So let's see. Let's see. Starting in January 2023, owners of vacation and short-term rentals in Glendale are required to provide the city of Glendale the name and contact information of a person designated as an emergency contact, as well as the contact information for the owner responsible for responding to complaints in accordance with Glendale City Code. The city of Glendale has partnered with GovOS to facilitate the new short-term rental registration process. Can you guys see my screen, or is it too small? Small. All right, let me zoom in for you. Let me just zoom in some more. Okay. So if you are operating a short-term rental, GovOS will mail your registration letter on behalf of the city of Glendale on how to register a short-term rental. The registration letter will include procedures for creating your account and your activation code with the account number you will use to access your property record. State: every vacation or short-term rental property in the state is required to have a TPT license from the state of Arizona Department of Revenue. When applying for your TPT license, use the region code GE for on your license, right? Additionally, all rental units in Glendale are required to register those units with Maricopa County Assessor. Okay. So what do they define? What do they define as a vacation rental? A vacation rental or short-term rental means any individually or collectively owned single family or 1 to 4 family house or dwelling unit, or any unit or group of units in a condominium or cooperative that is also a transient public lodging establishment or owner occupied residential home offered for transient use if the accommodations are not classified for property taxation under section 42-12001. I don't know why, but this right here, this shit sounded like rocket science for some reason. Basically, would you guys agree? Like, I don't, reading that just sounded crazy to me. Basically, a vacation rental, short-term rental is a single family home, or, you know, a quadplex or a duplex. Now, a vacation or short-term rental is a residential property that is offered for rent for less than 30 days, right? Vacation rental and short-term rental does not include a unit that is used for any non-residential use, including retail, a restaurant, banquet space, event center, or another similar use. So quite literally, just a vacation rental or short-term rental is a residential property is offered for rent for less than 30 days. Right? Now, nuisance parties and unlawful gatherings. Under Glendale's nuisance parties and unlawful gatherings ordinance, property owners are accountable for repeated unruly gatherings of parties. This ordinance applies to all private residences, whether they are long or short-term rentals or owner occupied. So this looks like it's it. This is all you gotta do, right? Boom. That's quite simple. The state website, the city website. Like all I did, like it all starts off by typing in on Google, does Glendale allow Airbnb? And then, you just find your city of Glendale website. Boom. Read up. But I mean, I did this already for my own property because we have a property in Glendale. But if I were brand new to this market, this is exactly what I would do. And before I keep going, are we good on time, everyone? I know it's like 9 o'clock where some of you guys are, but are we good? Cool. I'm gonna go. Give me like 2 minutes. I'm gonna use the restroom. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourself for a little bit. Let me know. Let me know. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Good. All right. Let's keep going. So now that I know it's actually legal in Glendale, I am now going to move on to the second step of this process, which is looking at the property in specific. So here we go. We have 5 bed, 3 bath, 29.45 per month. Let's look at it. Okay, nice floors throughout. Okay. Initial thoughts, anyone? What are you guys thinking so far? Outdated, old appliances. Okay. I would happen to agree. Okay. So after we run that initial thought, what's the next step, guys? Let me know. What do we do after we look at it? Staley. Bingo. Add new property. Right, I come over here, I copy my address. Boom. Paste the address. It's a 5-bed, 3-bath home. So we're going to do, if it's a 5-bed, 3-bath home, how many guests are we putting down? 10. Sweet. 9, 10. 5-bed, 3-bath home. And as you guys can see right here, the rent is $29.45. $29.45. Hit calculate. Okay. So initially, just off rip, we see a profit of $39K in the first year. What do you guys think about that? Does this mean anything so far? Nope, not really. Not without the expenses. Exactly. Now, let me give me 1 second. Okay. So with a home this size, I'll be in man. Right. This is a good indicator, right? Because no matter what expenses you put in most cases, you will not. It would be hard to bring this number to unprofitable. Now, leasing fees. Let's see what we got on here. Okay, here it is right here. Security deposit $29.95 and cleaning deposit $600 are fully refundable. So let's go ahead over here, put that right here. Let's go leasing fees, security deposit 29.45. So Ayana, in most cases, yes. If you were to talk to the landlord, but that's not something that you can just like Google, right? So application fee, I'm going to put $600. Cool. Now, furniture on a 5-bedroom home, 1 living space. We're going to do 2,500. Right? That gives us a total furniture budget. Why 600? Just right here, it's the cleaning deposit. So I just put it in the application fee. Right, you got your security deposit, 29.45, and right here. That makes sense? Okay, cool. Let's go. So far, an acquisition costs are about $26,000. That's pre-renovation, right? We'll come back here and see exactly if that's going to be accurate. Utilities and upkeep. Now, the truth of the matter is, like I said, is the cleaning deposit for the pool or the unit. Most likely the unit. It doesn't state. I'm just going off what they put in their listing. Okay. Now, here's the tricky thing with utilities. Like I said, I either put them in or I don't put them in because I don't know actual usage. But the one thing I am so certain on is going to be this right here. Like this is what I'm estimating per room. 2.5K per room. Yeah, that's what I was estimating. But with these ones, man, utilities, upkeep, this is hard because you cannot. It's really hard to estimate what the monthly usage is going to be. So I either leave it at 0 or I fill them in and I go a little bit higher than I want to. For this case, I'm not going to put them in. Now, here we go. So far, this looks like a pretty solid property. Would you guys agree? Numbers wise. Yes. Yes. Okay. 21K profit potential. That's what it looks like. Now, after I identify that I like it numbers wise, what's my next step, guys? Compare market research. Perfect. So, market charts. Here's what I do. I come to my market chart section. All right, I got to add in the zip code. Give it a second to load up. Here we go. Now, if I knew nothing about this market, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here to the Market Explorer and I am going to look at some of these stats. For most of you guys, you will not know what any of these stats mean. So if I don't know what none of these stats mean, I'm going to hit request new V2 report. I'll show you guys what this means after it gets done. Cool. Now back to this zip code 85310. When I am researching my market, the number one thing I do, like I said, is filter it out for my exact property. So this is a 5-bedroom home with 3 bathrooms, and as far as I can tell, it has a pool. So that's all I know, right? So we come back here, 5-bedroom home, 3 baths, and it has a pool. Comp data. Filter it out from top to bottom. And the data is still loading in. So this isn't all the data, but we're just going to see exactly what we got. You guys with me so far? Yes? Okay. Cool. So here's this property. Here's the title, North Phoenix Glendale Home, Heated Pool, Sports Haven. Revenue, 120 bands. Occupancy, 70%. Here's what it looks like. Screen wording small, but we here. Are we able to use this too if you purchase your subscription? Yeah. Okay. So what are we doing on this step? What's the point of looking at this? Review amenities and compare. You beat me to it. Here we go. Right. Now we can compare each photo in the comments together. Because I'm not going to type it out on my own. So we got a flat screen, right? We got a mini bar. We have a karaoke machine, it looks like. This is cool. Comfortable seating area, living room. Cool. Fireplace. Okay, here's the kitchen. We have a dining table and an island. Looks like newer appliances. Okay, it looks like they provide coffee, a Keurig, and traditional drip. And teas, it looks like. Okay, another dining table that's bigger. A poker table. So just a group of amenities. Fully stocked kitchen. Yeah. And there's 130 people in here. So I need more comments. Let's go. Games. Sweet. Even more games. Here's bedroom number 1. This is a king. Right? Me personally, not my favorite style of bedroom, but it is a king size bed. That's pretty cool. Pretty spacious. You got flat screen TV and a sound bar, it looks like. Bedroom number 2, it's a queen bedroom, right? This one right here has a full body mirror, flat screen TV, and it looks like storage for clothing. Bedroom number 3, just a traditional clean. This is big. I actually like this. This is mounted outlets for your chargers and stuff. This is big. Like there's nothing worse than being an Airbnb. You got to dig behind stuff. Can you guys hear me now? Sorry. Yep. Okay. I was just saying right here is like a nice. Here's a nice bedroom. I mean, here's a nice bathroom. Super solid. Okay. Here is a closet. Another bathroom. We got more games, outdoor, a pool table, ping pong table. You've got outdoor dining, outdoor fireplace, outdoor seating, another outdoor fireplace. So tons of outdoor amenities, little pickleball setup, barbecue pit. You got sun loungers. Okay. Pool and hot tub. This is big right here. Pack and play for the kids, high chair, and a stroller and a stroller wagon. Okay. There you go. Now, what I like to do after I look at a property, always come up to the property I'm researching. This bad boy. Now, they're not the same quality, but this is also a blank slate that we could make really, really nice. Right? Now, when I look at this, right? Of course, you're going to have to do some touch ups, but sorry, one sec. What I like to do is use this. Like they're obviously not that same. They're not the same in terms of like quality, but they are the same in size, which means that if they're making this amount of money on this property, there is demand for bigger groups. Right now, this is obviously like a multi-million-dollar home. This one, on the other hand, may not be, but it serves the same purpose. Now, it's up for us to make a property like this stand out with our amenities, our design. Um, and we can totally do that. 100%. This is where the gold comes in. All right. So do you guys think that we would be able to turn this into something really nice? Yes. 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 I 100% agree. Now, when like if you take this home, all you have to do, like quite literally, all you have to do is go through that list we just made, and we just got to make sure that this property has as many of those things as possible. And I'm gonna be honest, their design was actually not that good in my opinion. This was not my vibe. Cool. So what I'm gonna do after I've looked at the top competitor, I'm gonna favorite it. I'm gonna look at the next one. This one right here is 77K. Right, here's another 5-bed, 3-bath home with a pool that's making 77K. Here we go. Living room area or a family room. Well, we got comfortable seating. Okay, another living room area, flat screen TV. Here comes the kitchen, island, dining room, another dining table. Here's the bedroom. Another bedroom. You got like a workplace setup, flat screen TV. Another bedroom. Here's a shower in the tub. Bathroom. Outdoors pretty solid. You got some sun loungers, some outdoor seating, pool and hot tub. Playhouse for the kids. Outdoor seating again. Laundry. Okay. Nothing, right? Update chart. Nesta, yeah. 100%. So once again, just looking at my potential property, I'm still feeling pretty optimistic, right? Like with the right design taste, which Naya's going to do the design, the right amenity selection. I don't think I'm outclassed at all. I would consider myself to be in pretty good odds. What do you guys think? Because my mindset behind it is like, yo, if they're making money in their properties like designed like this, they're only making money because there's no better properties on the market. Right? This is just the best that it gets. This ain't good. They're getting money because people have no other options. Right? You kind of just take what you can get. So I'm feeling optimistic. Hit it right here. Here's another one doing 68K per year. We got a pool with a diving board, air hockey table, outdoor dining, outdoor flat screen TV, comfortable seating, flat screen TV, dining table. Here's the kitchen area. Pool table, nice family game amenities, flat screen TV. Here's the bedroom. Here's the bathroom. Another bathroom. The bedrooms, they look pretty basic, right? Trampoline, uh, sandbag, putt area. This is big. This is big. Putt area. That's really good amenity. Huge pool. Solid, right? It's pretty cool. Once again, not filling out class. I have not seen a single property that makes me think like, oh man, I will not go into this market because they're going to absolutely crush me. Right? I don't feel that way. I know with the way that we design, we can definitely incorporate all of those amenities into a property. We're good. We're definitely good, but it's going to take work though. It's going to take work. Cool, cool. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, are we good now? Yes. All right. Pretty much the next thing I do is I'll look at the proximity, right? So I find out where my listing is on the map. You guys can see when I look here, I'm like left of Saddleback Hills and Pinnacle Hills. Come over here to the map. Here's Saddleback Hills Pinnacle. I would be, this property somewhere up in there, which isn't far from this one that's doing 68 and this one that's doing 77. That makes sense. Just looking at proximity, like this isn't a make or break, but I just want to see what I'm up against and how close we are. All right, like if someone is going to go and book this property or this property, I'm also number one in the chat. That makes sense. Okay, cool. Now charts. This one is very, very important. Occupancy. Occupancy, occupancy, occupancy. So if you look at, and the data is still loading. It's a lot of data has to upload, so we'll have to get it all the way in there. But disconnecting. Wait, hold on. Let me 1 sec. I want to get to this. Audio, microphone. Let's see. Check, 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 check. Can you guys hear me? Check, 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 check. We're good. All right. We'll let that do what it do. So, what I'm looking here, I'm just looking historically to see, what months are going to be my best months and my lowest months. So, based off we're looking at occupancy right now. We can see that February historically, March historically, and it starts to go back up in October. So all the way from April to September, it's kind of flat. It's not that great. You guys see that? But you see as time goes on, it goes up, right? So you'll be making most of your money from October to March. This is where the big dollars come in. The hotter it gets in Arizona, right? You guys can see these are more summer months. The worse it gets in terms of revenue. It just gets really hot. But we do pretty well in our down months too. So there's something to note, like not like a deal or no deal. It's just as long as you know you can prepare. Does that make sense? So that's how I find my high season and my low season. Yes. Okay. Same thing with 2022. Same thing with 2021. Right. When the 2024 data fully uploads, that will be in there too. Um, and there you go. So over the years, we can see, here's 2021. Right. Same thing. Here's 2022. Similar. 2023. Also similar. In 2024, similar. So I know for a fact that these are my high months and the summer is my low months. Good enough. Makes sense. The cell number one's in the chat. Cool. Let's do ADR. Let's look at Michelle. Yes, yeah, you had ADR 460 per night, 443, 370, 318. And once again, as you can see, these right here just drop down, drop down, drop down, drop down, and then they slowly start to rise the cooler it gets. But this is October to March is where the money's made. That's all you got to understand. Once again, not a deal breaker, not a yes or no. It's just information, right? It just helps us make a decision. Cool. That makes sense, guys? Yep. All right. Okay. Is it best to do this in the Staley app? Yeah, well, I'll answer that later, Shania. Now, every market has some key components, right? It's kind of like a diagnostic for each market. If you guys see out there, and this zip code, and I hit Market Explorer, these, you're going to see your athlete bunches listings, listing percentage change, available full time, available last year. These are just data, right? Like once again, just knowing if you didn't know what any of these meant, you could make a report, which is an AI report that breaks down each of these, and pretty much it just tells you a market listing analysis. I won't go through all of this because it is a lot, but that option is there as well if you just wanted to know more, right? Mainly what I look for is just occupancy and revenue. What are my high months? What are my down months? What's it looking like? Cool. So now that I've taken into consideration all those things, let's go back to our listing. Um, just based off of you out of here, brother? Yeah. Alaikum salam. Just based off the list that we got, looking at this, I mean, what would you guys budget to make this happen? And it even looks like this one has an outdoor grill, which is cool. So this is where you decide, okay, I'm gonna have to put this amount of money extra just in case to get it up to where it needs to be. Right, you got to paint your cabinets. That's for sure. 40K. I don't think it would take that much. 10K extra. 25K. 15K. I'm just going to say an extra, just a renovation, right? Just getting it where it needs to be look wise, not even amenity wise. Right, let's do 5K. That's conservative. That's like low end, right? Do excellent lower. Yep, we do. Right. So all in all, 22.5K for furniture, 5K for renovations. We would still be looking at a 16K projected profit in year one. Now, let's say you wanted to just go another 10,000. No, that's just to set your property up for more success in year one. Like you're just giving yourself an even better budget because this property is definitely prime. It's good location. Competitors are making money. It's a market for it. We can see that the bigger 5-bedroom properties just aren't even that good, but people are booking those and they're paying a good rate because it's more people, right? Let's say we put an extra 10K into renovations. Total startup cost 36K. First year, profit is a little bit slim on 11K side, but guess what happens second year, guys? We make 47K profit projected prior to these like small utilities. Solid, that's solid to me. It's really solid. Any questions about that? Crystal, that's normally a part of the furniture budget. Makes sense. Okay. Give me 1 second. Blow my nose. 1 second. Okay. Solid research explained. I agree. Now, someone's going to ask me what these mean, right? So let me just break it down. Income right here is total revenue, expenses, right? You guys will see that the expenses cover all the inputs, and acquisition costs are what you put into, what you put right here. So your furniture costs, leasing fees, and renovations. Now, pretty much this minus this is your profit, but this only happens year two because in year one you have your acquisition cost. Does that make sense? So this could turn out to be a very lucrative deal, Dante. Very, very lucrative deal. Now, I still have more to do, right? If it all makes sense to you guys, I still got more to do. I could do it, but if we're all on the same page and that's good enough for you guys to understand, we're good. But I could do more. Let's see, we got 125 people on a Monday night. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. Definitely do more. All right. I don't mind. Keep going as well. All right. I mean, you said income minus expenses equals profit after first year. So income minus expenses equals profit, period. But just in your first year, you'll see that the profit in year one is only 11K because it's also taking into account your acquisition costs. Does that make sense? Um, okay, makes sense. Perfect. Now, if I wanted to take this a step further, right, I am just going to bring it over here to Price Labs. How many properties can you get up and running realistically in a year? That depends on what you're going for. Like if you're going for just base hits, smaller properties, smaller budgets, but you get good funding, you can get multiple. If you're just, you're aiming for the fences on your first one. That all depends. Okay. Add new dashboard. So this is Price Labs, right? And I mean, this could take anywhere from another 20 to 30 minutes. Are you guys with me still? I just want to make sure. Yes? Cool, let's get it. So same scenario, right? Just want to take this address right here, copy it, paste it over here. Cool. Now, mm, this one right here is going to cost me $40 per month, right? But look at it like this: if it's going to cost you $40, you don't need it more than 1 month. right? So the reason why I don't really use price last is because it is quite it does have a cost to it where our software just has it all built in there. Now, no, I don't do custom. I mean, I don't use this as much because it does have a cost to it. But like, let's say for this one right here, we're just going to look at Phoenix as a whole, and the property that we're researching is all the way up here, this little dot. That makes sense so far? Now it's going to cost me $40 a month in researches, but I only need this one time, right? I'm just like, imagine Dante, right? He's a new investor. He's going to get some solid amount of funding. He just wants to make sure that when he invests in his property, he's got everything thought out to the best of his abilities. Now, obviously, he can't control everything, but he can control what he can control. Does that make sense? And what can he control? The research. So Dante's going to also pay his $40 for Price Labs and see what they say. Let's go. USD. Dante, just because you're my guy, I got you. Controlling the controllables. That's it. Now, here we go. All this data is loading in. You got it. You got it. Okay. Now, I'm going to come down here and I'm just going to make a comp set. Now, this is right now looking at all of Phoenix. This is looking at all of Phoenix and total listings. There's over 12,000 listings in Phoenix, but we are not in all of Phoenix, guys. We are up here in Glendale. So let's go ahead and generate a comp set. God damn, I just hit the wrong button. Enter comp set name. Let's go Dante Williams. Filter listings. Okay, bedrooms. 5 bedrooms. Bathrooms. 3 bathrooms. As you guys will see, I am it's always going to be the same thing no matter what platform you use. Apples to apples, oranges to oranges. Right? Max guest, 10 people. 10 people. Pool. Yep. Kitchen. Yep. Barbecue grill. Yep. Air conditioning. Yep. Dante, in the case that you would add a hot tub, I'm going to put yes. Cool. Zip code. What's our zip code on this bad boy? 85310. 85310. In this zip code, there are only 9 listings that match this criteria. There are 5 bed, 3 baths, their entire home, right? And they have a pool, air conditioning, hot tub, barbecue grill, and kitchen. Does that make sense so far? I'm just making my comp set. I'm just comparing myself. Yes, cool. Apply filter. Now let's just let this load up for a second. View comp set listings. Okay, I don't know why that didn't work. But I swear I just created a whole new comp set. Wait, what the hell? Okay, no worries. Okay, I'll just do it this way. 5 bed, right? Filter listings. I don't know. I'm just gonna do this one more time. I think it glitched out on me. 10 people, 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, listing type, entire home, air conditioning, yes, hot tub, yes, pool, yes, barbecue grill, yes, kitchen, yes, zip code 85310, apply filter. Damn this off. See, and that's also like why this shit just gets so complicated. Like they got a lot going on here, but I'm just gonna walk you guys through it either way. Cool, cool, cool. Let this load up for a second. All right. Now on here, we can see that this property, if we open up our map, right, this property is up by Arrowhead Ridge, Deer Valley, up in here. So what are we going to do? Let's see. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Arrowhead Ranch up in this area. Cool. So let's just put a box. That's like a good radius, right? You guys see what I'm looking at? Like that would be fair. I'll even do a little bit more. Yep. Cool. Now let's start looking at what we got. Now I want to see revenue. That's what I want to see. Ah, they might not do revenue anymore. Oh, here we go. Estimated revenue. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's sort this bad boy from highest to lowest. Okay. Zip code. What zip code are we in? We are in 85310. Okay, so all of these over here are going to be 85310 properties. So here we go. Let's see what we got. Estimated revenue on price lab at 133K. Let's see. Right? Resort style, mountain view, pool, spa, hike, and golf. Let's go. All right, take down your notes, guys. We got seating, dining table, This is a poker table, actually. So, pool table. We got dining table, pool table, poker table, seating, flat screen TV, foosball table. Okay. More games, right? Pokemon, recliner, flat screen TV, sound bar. And one thing I'm noticing with these games is these homes, they're not even good decorated. They're just big. They're just big, right? Like these homes, a 5 bedroom home that sleeps 10 people is a big group of people. I don't even think you need to be all looking that great, according to these people. You just need space, right? Cool. Here's kitchen area. We got brown cabinets. Looks like they provide their coffee, island, waffle maker, dining table, two dining tables. Okay, we got a room right here. Some workspace, another bedroom. You guys see, like, look at these rooms, guys. They're actually not that good. But the home is big. So does it really matter? Not necessarily. Here is the bathroom. Pretty big in size. The sheet's crazy. Hella crazy. You got a hot tub and you got a pool. Look at all this right here, right? Like, I mean, let's just think about the psychology of someone booking a huge home. What's the main thing you're going for? Just think about it. Family vacation. You just want to spend time with the family. You want them all together in one place. You don't want to get a hotel room where you're split up. You just want a big home. I don't think you necessarily have to do too much here, right? Like these people weren't doing too much. They just have the space. They're just filling in the space, right? So, you got your outdoor grill, you got your pool chairs, your pool, cool. Fireplace, outdoor sitting area, putt-putt area, that's a big one. That's a big one, right? Gotta have a putt-putt. Right here, pool games. Don't just have a pool, have the games in the pool too. Okay, you got laundry. There you go. Okay, once again, bigger home, right? This property is also making 133K per year. It's a bigger home. It's it's amenity heavy. Cool. Let's look at this one right here. This one, we actually already looked at this one. Okay. Let's look at another one. This one right here is estimated to making 104K. Let's see. Pool and hot tub. Nice seating for everyone. Games, ping pong, fire, pit, putt pong, backyard games. Okay. Outdoor grill, turf, pool table, air hockey table, game room, Xbox, just like family room, flat screen TV, comfortable seating, kitchen area, island, dining table, bedrooms, pretty spacious, right? They're providing their coffee, blenders. There you go. Bathroom, full screen, full mirror, full body mirror. Okay. Flat screen TV. Now, the one thing I will say is like when you think about a five-bedroom home, it would be a wise thing to dedicate one room specifically for the kids, right? It's an experience for the kids because who's doing the booking? The parents, and why they're doing it for the kids, right? That bunk bed experience is very important. Doesn't need to be crusty, right? That one just no make it crusty, make it nice. But that will be something that's good for homes this size. Okay, what else we got? Outdoor dining, high chair. You see that they're doing like they're really maximizing the space. It's a family vacation, right? This is crazy. A sheet, just sheet, no covers, guys. 6 figures per year on this property. There you go. So basic, exactly. Cool. Let's look at another one. This one's making 73K per year. The reviews are high, right? People are normally pretty pleased with these homes, right? Just because, like I said, they're just family vacation. You can sleep 10 people, maybe even 15. Cool, we'll book it. You got a pool? Cool, that'll be all right. These homes don't look that good, man. They don't look that good. And they're making bread, which is good, right? Photo quality is bad. One thing you will note though, they got the games, they got the pool table, they got the amenities, they got the pool, the outdoor dining. So what we do when we're looking at this is we just make sure that when it comes to everything that we control, we can control. Oh, we've been on here for 2 hours. It's going to end in 5 minutes, but I'm going to go back live when it does. It has a max time on it, right? Barbecue grill. So y'all see what I mean. Y'all see what I mean when we be picking up properties. It really is a science to it. Like it isn't by hope or it isn't by like wish. We're really looking at it from a specific way. Like I see properties that look like this making 6 figures a year. I get excited. This is good. This is exactly the market where I got the home that we own that makes 6 figures a year. This is where we got it in Glendale because this is exactly what the properties look like. Majority of them, they look like this, and they were making money. We came in the market, put a good property, and now we make cheese. This is genuinely how all the properties look. from studios to 5-bedroom homes. It is really the same. Okay. But that's what we do, man, right? It's all just data. Price Labs has their sets, their map feature. Like from all the different platforms, it's all the same. All you're trying to do is look for confirmation. Um, all of this, I don't really look at. I really just look at the actual properties and their stats. Um, any questions? I don't want to cover. I don't want to cover too much. This is Price Labs platform. This one's $40 a month for a specific, but it's for one market. That's the only downside. Like this is $40 a month specifically for Phoenix. Just want to circle back. I might have missed it. That 5-year profit is projecting profit for that year alone or accumulative? Um, accumulative. So by year 5, this is the projection. Oh, pal, I cannot do that tonight. I'm sorry. Um, when leasing the homes is a year lease or month to month, what you need? A charger? Yeah. Can you hook me up with your cleaners? Of course, Dante. Any other startup costs you aren't paying taxes as you don't own, etc. So if you come back to your to our regulations, right, you'll pay a TPT tax, which is just like tax on your revenue, but it automatically comes out. Um, does the home insurance change for its corporate lease? Depending on where you are. I mean, we hold our own insurance plus Airbnb has insurance too. But Tiffany, no, we do at least a 2-year lease. The more years, the better. But a 1-year lease or a month-to-month lease, it just doesn't make that much sense. But I really hope I broke that down in a good way for you guys to see. Um, to like really see what invested in a property does. Do you negotiate a lower rent for a longer lease? In some cases, you can for sure. Um, the best place I've invested in so far, definitely Glendale and St. Louis. My two favorite. St. Louis is my favorite market because I just love it there, but Glendale is also a really solid market too. You did. That's my goal. That's my goal. You know, that tight. So I have a question about to do it for you. Okay. What I'm gonna do, this is gonna end in 59 seconds. I'm gonna end this now and I'm gonna go back live. Just join up again, guys. Cool. All right, back. Give me 1 sec.